let's first start off with Cantor. Explain to us exactly what they said they plan on doing.
Right, and the tension here really is that Cantor is cutting back its workforce at a time when the rest of Wall Street, many prominent firms across Wall Street have promised that they're not going to lay off employees, while we're right in the middle of the worst unemployment crisis in decades because of the virus. At Cantor Fitzgerald, however, we're talking about a situation where you could see hundreds of job cuts across division. And that really stands out because that is the steepest amount of cuts, deepest cuts we've heard out of any Wall Street firm in the U.S. since the virus outbreak here.
And Sri, what's notable here is that this sounds more like an overall culling than it is something, a response to simply the market conditions. There's, in particular, some Cantor business units that have really been under pressure. What are those? Can you give us some details there?
Right, and part of it is also, it isn't immediately clear why they're taking this action when a lot of their bigger peers are saying we don't have to do anything with respect to layoffs. We can hold off on that for the time being, and that's why the worry is there something worse going on at Cantor Fitzgerald? They will assure you everything is fine. They have said that these headcount reductions are in response to the uncertain macroeconomic conditions. So they are in many ways reacting to the situation out there. Howard Lutnick, the 58-year-old chairman and CEO of the firm, is at least privately worried about a longer sustained downturn and is moving to curb costs and take action on that front. That's why it stands out. And of course, Howard Lutnick's empire is just beyond Cantor Fitzgerald, right? He has an affiliate, BGC Partners, a public company. Back in March, they decided to draw down their revolver. They decided to slash their dividend to a penny. That's never a good sign. They have another affiliate called Newmark, which is a commercial real estate firm, where they've asked the top leaders there to really take pay cuts and carry out job cuts. So sort of across the board in the Cantor Fitzgerald empire, if I may, you are seeing some level of retrenchment, which is a bit of a setback because remember, not too long ago, Howard Lutnick brought in the former Deutsche Bank boss, Anshu Jain, to try and reshape Cantor Fitzgerald as a bigger player that would be on a more solid footing to compete with the biggest players on Wall Street.
Right. So, Sri, then, where does that stand right now? Because we all sort of focus in on that. It seemed like a pretty big coup for Lutnick at the time. So I'm wondering, when you sort of read into what they're doing now, how do those long-term ambitions stand?
Well, undoubtedly, there are a lot of questions out there, and we have no other option but to compare them with what some of the peers are doing. Look at what James Gorman, the CEO of Morgan Stanley, said on the earnings call just yesterday about pausing job cuts. He said it was a no-brainer. Psychologically, the worst thing to do at this time. It was not going to do anyone any good, so they're not going to carry out any job cuts. So when you have a firm that's going out there and saying, you know what, we need to carry out hundreds of job cuts, when they go out and say, we are worried about the uncertain macroeconomic conditions, people do get anxious. So the first derivative question is, how do the other second-tier firms get affected? Does it affect Cantor's ability to go into the next round? And talking about the top-tier firms, the bigger question is, are they all on just some sort of a temporary pause? Or after a few months when the virus subsides, everyone opens the floodgates and you're going to see a series of job cuts? Those are the bigger questions everyone in the industry is wrestling with right now.